Hey guys, Ian Lawler, Will Ewers here, Chief Instructors at Somerset Combat Academy. This is our second edition of our video podcast. And, Will and I have been talking quite a lot this week about, what we were going to make the subject matter for. And we thought some of the most important things would be just giving you guys information. So the information we wanted to cover today, we were going to do just a few topics of the best, or what we would consider the best benefits for functional fitness training, and then of course functional martial arts training. There's multiple different facets of fitness and how to work out and things of that nature, just like there's multiple facets of martial arts. But we were gonna cover what we thought anyway. So Will had some great ideas. If you want to start elaborating on some of those.
While we were discussing this, like most people, when they think like either functional fitness or martial arts, they really focus on most people get into it because they want to get in shape, they want to look better, but I really feel like it goes way beyond that. Like that's just the surface level, and there's several things that you get out of it that are far further reaching than just the physical aspects.
Well, what's an aspect that you got out of it when you first started?
Self-confidence is a big thing that I got out of it. Like I started out like I wasn't super confident about anything. So, but yeah, like that's one big thing I got out of it. There's perseverance. Like you come in every day, and come in whether you feel tired or you feel feel tired, sore, whatever, and it just builds that grit, that internal drive to keep going.
That's awesome. And speaking on that, you can take that into the type of training that you're talking about, that mental training. You can take that into every aspect of your life, whether it's as silly as this may sound, like being tired from work and knowing that you still got to cook dinner, just pushing through, not hitting the snooze button on the alarm clock in the mornings. That what is that? I guess you could call it internal muscle, so to speak, that you build up with
mental muscle.
Mental muscle.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah,
I agree. Just speaking like mental muscle, like I had my education. I'm going to EKU for education, and one of the videos we had to watch was like a TED Talk on. They were doing like studies on like what makes somebody successful. Like what is the underlying thing that makes people successful in anything. Like they went to looked at like West Point graduates. They looked at athletes. They looked at everything they could possibly do. Like musicians. Like what determines success. And consistently out of everybody, it wasn't IQ. It wasn't physical ability. It was what they call grit, which is dedication to long-term goals every day, just sticking with it every single day. And that's actually what determines success. And you get that from working out, from doing martial arts, from continuously coming in and working even when you're tired.
I can definitely appreciate that. As I think a lot of people get a little bit held back, so to speak, from like coming into really any gym, let alone a gym like this where we are chasing excellence, so to speak. I stole that quote from Coach Ben Bergeron, but we even have the quote on the wall here from Vince Lombardi. Gentlemen, we should chase perfection, and we shall chase it relentlessly, knowing all the while it is unattainable. However, along the way, we might be able to catch and harness excellence. And I think that means a lot, and the biggest aspect of that is just getting people to make it through that first step, just coming in the door, because it's kind of scary. You've never been to a gym before, or it's been a long time. We covered some of this on our previous episode with people that have had injuries with playing other sports, or they don't want to look bad or stuff like that. And I think that ties a lot into building that mental muscle. Like when you have that self-confidence to be like, no, I can do this. I know it's going to suck, and I know it's going to be tough, but I can do this. And as long as we've been training together, it was kind of neat because you sort of started martial arts with me, and we kind of started CrossFit and like the functional fitness aspect of training together. And it was really neat to get to watch, from an outside perspective, get to watch you develop, into this just not trying to sound cliche, but a pillar and of a man that so many people look up to now.
Thank you. But yeah, like I'm not gonna talk about myself too much, but yeah, like really, it has helped me a lot with like the self-confidence aspect, and what is self-confidence? Self-confidence is believing in yourself pretty much for the most part, and I really, like, for me, martial arts was a big part of that. Jiu-jitsu was a huge part of that. Like, uh, I, I didn't believe in myself, and jiu-jitsu really helped me with that. Like, seeing that, hey, I could be good at something. Like I could actually be successful in something, and really, a lot of it is just taking that first step, and actually committing to something,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, can you elaborate on that a little more?
Yeah, right. Commitment is one of the hardest things to get out of people. I mean, if you look at our country as a whole right now, statistically, 1 out of 2 marriages ends in divorce, and 75% of secondary marriages end in divorce. So we obviously have a large commitment issue here in our whole country, not just our community. But one of the biggest things that I've tried to impress upon people when they come in is don't look at a 6-month commitment or a 1-year commitment, because like with any gym, they want some amount of commitment from you, right? Yeah. But more than anything, it's I don't know, how do I put this? A mental willingness to go, I'm gonna try to be better tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day than I was the day before. Like we were talking about that Canadian bobsled team,
yes.
Wasn't it that you were talking about?
Yeah.
They did the
Canadian, British, I don't remember. But yeah.
The 1%.
The 1% improvements, yes.
And they beat their goal by 2 years to placing in the Olympics. So it's the same concept with people. That first step is always difficult. To getting them to go, man, do I really want to buy that gi? Like, this looks a lot different than what we've been, exposed to in the past. Because, as far as a combo gym like this, I mean, as far as I know, we're it for Southeast Kentucky. And we were probably one of maybe 10 in the whole state, if that actually has like hands-on, functional fitness coaches, powerlifting coaches, USAW weightlifting coaches, and then we've got pro athletes and ranked amateur athletes that are teaching all of our martial arts classes. Like we're it, and it looks a lot different than what most people have been exposed to, which is the karate industry exploded in the 60s and 70s, and you still have gyms around today that are like that, but there is no hands-on worry. Like you can make it through a whole class without breaking a whole lot of sweat or ever really having to deal with another person, and slowly that community started dying off, and more people are getting interested into at least the Krav Maga aspects, or functional martial arts, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai kickboxing, boxing, wrestling, that stuff, and it is harder to learn. I mean, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, yeah, as well as I do. You're a senior purple belt, soon to be probably brown belt. Like, I've got a decade under my belt of actually like, okay, I'm in a gi, training, trying to actively pursue promotable status and skill level. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is the longest form of martial arts in the world to get your black belt in. The average is like 10 to 13 years. And I mean, in the past with the karate movements here in the U.S., I mean, it's nothing for a 10-year-old to be a black belt. And
that's true.
I think that's crazy, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you do hit a good point. Like as far as like where jiu-jitsu, it takes so long to get belted. That's time and effort. That's commitment to long-term goals on a daily basis, and that's grit. That's what ultimately determines whether you're going to be successful or not in all aspects of life, not just jiu-jitsu. So yeah, jiu-jitsu is great at teaching you that, because you do have to come in every day. You do, otherwise you're not going to get anywhere in it. Does that make sense? Like, you can't just show up and be great at jiu-jitsu. You have to put in time and years and months and all that into it to actually get somewhere in it. And then as far as like the fitness aspects, as you were saying, like I think especially around this area, like a lot of like bodybuilding is like kind of
really popular.
But But as far as like that, like now, whereas karate, was before, and now it's like more functional. Like also functional fitness is also becoming a bigger thing. And it's slowly growing.
I think the biggest key is that the people who are trying out functional fitness with the Olympic movements and the high intensity style training, as opposed to today I'm going to do arms. They're seeing that as time goes on, and as like the games, for example, is nationally publicized. You can watch it on the internet. You can watch it on TV.
It's
They,
huge now.
I mean, yeah, they use what those giant Staples centers out in LA to run their indoor and outdoor events. Like what people are realizing is the strongest, fastest, best looking, because some people really do. They just train to look good naked. I know some of you guys watching this right now. The only reason they work out is they want to look good naked. Nothing wrong with that. The strongest, fastest, most dependable format of fitness is what we offer. Plain and simple. You get a 185-pound athlete that's got 10% body fat and can front squat 355 pounds. That is the pillar of our community. You can snatch 255 pounds. That's the essence of our community.
Yeah, these jack of all trades when it comes to fitness, like, may not be able to outrun the fastest runners, and may not be able to outlift the strongest lifters, but they can do it all. They can lift heavy, they can run fast, and it's that, like I said, the jack of all trades kind of mindset when it comes to being fit and being able to do everything.
But that again ties into one of the benefits of this style of fitness that separates us from the rest is you can do this for life. Like I can't tell you how many guys that I knew that were in high school or have since ventured into the bodybuilding aspect or the powerlifting, just solely powerlifting aspects of training, and they've got blown or herniated discs in their back, their shoulders are shot, their neck's shot. With functional fitness, where we take that time to pull off the weights and teach the movements and build people from the ground up, like we were talking about in our last episode, they get so much more longevity out of fitness. And I mean, for our viewers, if you don't believe me, you can feel free to go to games.com, CrossFitGames.com, look up the Masters Division athletes. You get these 60 to 65-year-old guys and girls, for that matter, that could literally run circles around the best, strongest guys in their prime and girls in their prime that in any local gym that they're at. I mean, for crying out loud, there's 65-year-old dudes that I'm a pro athlete, you're a pro athlete, and they can outdo us because of their dedication and commitment to the sport. And I would definitely say commitment is one of the biggest things, and we try to impress that upon the kids here too. It's and I try to tie, like I know I've heard you do it with the parents. We try to tie the commitment with the kids in with the parents because for example, if little Sally or little Johnny has 6 months of great days in here, and they love playing games, and they love learning jiu-jitsu, and they love hitting pads and doing boxing after jiu-jitsu class, and they have one bad day where they come in and they don't something didn't work out.
Yeah, they had a bad day previously, or they went to school and they got in trouble in school, and then they just had a bad day, and then.
Yeah, and then they come in here and it kind of carries over, and you get onto them a little bit. Hey, you're gonna have to run laps, if you don't quit messing with other kids or stuff like that, and that's totally right. I wholeheartedly think that style of corporal punishment is way more beneficial than a whooping. You know what I mean? But but with the a lot of times if you don't actively, engage the parents, they don't realize that the next day when little Johnny or little Sally doesn't want to come into class because they had a bad day, that's them veering away from commitment, and without even realizing it, us as parents, because I'm a parent too, and I've been guilty of it, with my daughter in gymnastics and stuff like that, if you don't look at them and go, no, we made a commitment to practice, this is your sport, this is what you wanted to do, you're going to go. Otherwise, what we do without even realizing it, and again, I'm guilty of this myself, is you're telling them it's okay to quit without actually saying it.
Yeah, they have one bad day. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I don't have any kids, but the kids here, which I do to a degree consider my kids, they, they have to keep coming back. It does teach them the commitment, and you have to involve the parents in that to get them to, like, even though they did have a bad day, to keep coming back. And that kind of is something we were talking about as far as like having a group. Like, the group is kind of like your family, your parents. They do make you come back even when you don't want to, because there's that good peer pressure, I suppose, of you know, like, hey man, come on to the gym, you know, like, hey, come work out with me, you know, and that's another benefit to. There's innumerable benefits besides just the physical aspect of camaraderie is another great aspect. Like, just you and me, like, we've known each other since what, 2010?
Yeah.
2010. Yeah, and like, so yeah, it's just a great way to build community, and as well as just all these other, you know, intangible, non-physical aspects to just martial arts and fitness. It's great.
Absolutely. So if you could leave the viewers with like a quick minute or two soundbite, what would you give them for benefits for training and fitness and this lifestyle?
Like I would say like I was kind of to recap everything. Like, most people start out because, you know, they want the physical aspects, but honestly, it's the intangible aspects that are actually make it so much better, make you want to stick around, make it truly worth it. So, you know, that's it. Come give it a try.
Right. Since he hit the intangible stuff, I'll hit the tangible stuff, and I'll leave you guys with this. The truth and reality of maintaining your physicality, you know, is as we get older. Unfortunately, Father Time kills all of us. That's just the way it works. But as we get older, that doesn't mean we can't enjoy a pain-free, better life as a part of physical training. Yeah, sure, I know what you're thinking. Well, but if I work out, I'm going to get sore. That hurts. Okay, but that's a different type of hurt. I'm talking about, you know, every single elder in our community, and I have massive amounts of respect for older individuals. You know, I grew up with my papa was, you know, the patriarch of our family, and when he spoke, you shut up. You know what I mean? And you know, it's so often when you hear him talking about, my shoulder hurts, my back hurts, I can't do this, I can't do that. Get in here and try it. We have so many coaches in here that can really take a step back and isolate you as an individual, and it's not an additional charge. You get, about every time you step in here, you'll get one-on-one, you know, with a coach at some point, actual FaceTime with a coach, and that's a really big staple of our gym, because we want you as you get older to not have to worry about picking your grandkids up. We want you as you get older to not have to worry about not being able to pick your leg up as you're getting out of a bathtub. How many people that are going to watch this video right now have a grandparent that's fell as they were trying to get out of a bathtub? Because as we get older, our hip flexors get weaker. Not with functional fitness training, because we do everything through our full range of motion, strength through full range. So I would highly encourage you guys to come in, give us a try. First class is obviously free. And if you don't mind, hit subscribe below, and we'll see you guys next week. Will, you got anything else for them?
Nah.
All right, thank y'all.